Our next performer is Laura Cole, who is a Hamiltonian singer-songwriter. She has won a number of Hamilton Music Awards and has certainly worked around the world, including London, England, Nashville, LA, and Toronto. Last year, Danielle Lanois released a single featuring Laura, and she has recently released her own record, Dirty Cheat, which I don't know whether she's going to perform one of the songs on that, but we're delighted to have Laura with us. Laura?
All right, how's everybody doing tonight? Well, this morning, actually, it's Sunday. So it's a little early for us. We don't really get up too early when it comes to Sundays, especially, well, any day. But I think there might be a typo in the, that topic there. I wasn't so much born singing as I was screaming. I just wanted to be loud as a kid, I wasn't necessarily focusing on my tonal quality or my, melody or anything like that. I literally just wanted to be loud. That was my biggest criticism when I, performed in choirs and things like that. Just quiet down, Laura, And that was really hard for me because literally I just want to be loud. Like, I probably don't even need this mic right now. See? So when it comes to music for me, I was influenced at a very young age, as I'm sure a lot of us are when it comes to our true passions. My father and my mother are both musicians. My mom has her grade 10 piano, for example, and dad's in my band. So they really, really focused on inspiring me from a young age and wanting me to really follow my dream when it came to something that I'm so passionate about, which is singing. Eventually, I started to kind of write songs, and when I was a kid, they were kind of cheesy. I think I wrote a song about strawberries or something. And there was no real substance to what I was writing about. And I feel like eventually I decided to, go out and experience some things and, kind of really let myself go. Not in a bad way. Nothing bad happened. But, I did experience a lot of stuff like, for example, my first love. That was a big influence in, writing something emotionally. Or experiencing, for example, traveling across the world, not necessarily the whole world yet, but I'm working on it. Going to places like LA that are so inspirational. I would never want to move there, but they're so, everybody there is really, really willing to help for nothing, and that's something I find different in the music industry in Canada, is that it's very, everyone's kind of, fight for yourself, right? And that it's like that in a lot of industries. And I just found in LA, everybody was very willing and very open to new ideas and creating things differently. I did end up going to university for music. I didn't finish, though. I actually ended up getting a call from Danielle Lanois, who is the executive producer on our record, Dirty Cheat, which we released last August. And he's produced people that I'm sure you know. If you don't know who he is, he's produced Neil Young, which won Neil Young a Grammy. He also has produced Bob Dylan's Time Out of Mind, which is an amazing record, his biggest record to date. He's also produced U2, Joshua Tree, and many, many more. But the fact that he has been willing to help us out and to work with us has been something so incredible. He could literally work with anybody he wants in the entire world, musically, And the fact that he put his name on our record and, is really like giving us a helping hand is great. And that's what kind of inspires me every day, that people are willing to collaborate. It's a really, really amazing thing when people come together, and really the sky's the limit. When it comes to Dirty Cheat, the record, not the person. When it comes to that record, it's a big, it's essentially my life experiences in the past, 4 or 5 years, I'd say. Like I said, when it comes to writing songs, when I was a kid, I didn't have anything to talk about, and it was hard for me to draw on other people's experiences. But as you grow up and you help other people through their experiences, and as you go through experiences, you can really draw on that emotion. And especially when you're performing a song, you can actually think back to that time and really sink your soul into it, and that feels good. It's a really big release to actually write songs and draw on those emotions every time you perform. It does get draining sometimes, if you write a really emotional, sad song, for example, you're probably going to feel sad for the rest of the day, right? And it's just how it goes. But that doesn't get you down. It's simply, it's simply that expression that keeps you going, and knowing that somebody will be able to relate to that song. I think that's a really, really important part as an artist, is that other people will see something you don't see in that song. They will feel something you don't feel. And they, music is always open to interpretation, which is awesome as well, I did a lot of traveling with Dan. He did call me. This is the reason I left university, which probably isn't a good thing to say here, but he gave me a shout, and he's like, Laura, he's like, what are you doing? Like, what, are you happy in school? Are you learning what you got to learn? And I really thought about it, and I was like, no, I'm not learning how to be creative when it comes to writing songs and things like that. That's what I wanted to learn. I wanted to learn, what chords go together nicely and stuff like that. I didn't want to learn how to read music. I still don't know how. And I don't really plan on learning anytime soon. But, he essentially asked, are you really doing what you want to do? And I was like, no, I'd rather actually kind of learn, essentially, like I just said, the creativity part and how people, work in the industry. And he was like, I'm going to teach you. So he actually did take me under his wing. We went to places like Nashville, and we hung out with Emmylou Harris at her house. Just, a lazy Sunday. We also went to Shreveport, Louisiana, which I ended up singing on a nationally broadcasted gospel TV show called Hallelujah Train, which was awesome. You can find all that stuff on YouTube. And then we also, I ended up going to Morocco for 2 months. And this was just something I decided to do because I figured, practice makes perfect, right? So I decided that I was going to go to Morocco. I got a gig singing 6 nights a week there for 3 hours every night. And it was so tiring. I couldn't believe how draining it was at first, and how much effort it really took to, doll yourself up every night, go out, sing in front of all these Moroccan people who are smoking cigarettes in your face, which is still legal there. And, it was a really good experience for me to do that. And when I came back, we actually ended up recording the vocal for our now record, which is Dirty Cheat. And we are going to play you a couple songs from that. we're going to invite Chris Charcos up, please. So I do want to talk a little bit about the songwriting process. Like I said, I do draw off of emotion a lot. Chris started playing in the band right when we started the record, and that was about 2 years ago now. And yes, it did take me that long for this record. But you know what? This is actually a song I wrote when I actually just first met Chris. It is about Chris, and I did actually fall in love with him when I first met him, but we just started dating, right? It's called The Only One. As I walk away, I think about what I could have said when you told me to leave. I know you really wished I could stay, 'cause I can't go on living if I ain't living for you. And I can't let go when you're the only one I wanna hold. You're the only one that I want. You're the only one in my thoughts, and you're the only one that I need. You're the only one in my dreams. It ain't easy for me. Well, I can't get back what I've given. Oh yeah, this is easy living, and I won't start it again. But how long do you think you're gonna pretend? 'Cause I can't go on living if I ain't living for you. And I can't let go when you're the only one I wanna hold. And you're the only one that I want. You're the only one in my thoughts. And you're the only one that I need. You're the only one in my dreams. It ain't easy for me. And worse things have happened, but not to me. Oh, you're still the only one I want closer to me. And you got your girl right in front of me. Oh, it ain't easy for me. 'Cause I can't go on living if I ain't living for you. And I can't let go when you're the only one I wanna hold. And you're the only one that I want. You're the only one in my thoughts. And you're the only one that I need. You're the only one in my dreams. Yeah, you're the only one that I want. You're the only one in my thoughts. You're the only one that I need. You're the only one in my dreams. It ain't easy for me. It ain't easy for me. Well, as I walk away, I think about what I could have said. Thank you. Now that's always a tough one, because when I wrote that song, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna really bring it down at the ending and just just have my vocal. And that was a bad choice because sometimes, sometimes I can't hit that bottom note, and whether it depends on where it's placed in a set, and that's all your learning curve, right? That's like just trying to figure out how it works, and we do now finally have a set list that we're kind of happy with, so that's good. The next song we're gonna play, I wanted to tell this story because it's, again, drawing on some sort of experience from a thing that I was going through at the time. I was dropped off in LA with a designer who designs jackets and clothes for Steven Tyler, Axl Rose, and again, Dan Lanois. We ended up hanging out, he let me wear one of these beautiful jackets, like a $20,000 leather coat. And I was like, yeah, this is awesome. We're gonna go out on the town all day and I'm gonna get to wear this jacket. And sure enough, we go out one place and, about 5 people are interested in the jacket I'm wearing. We get back to his place and he's like, yeah, we'll go out for some food later on. And, he ended up getting drunk, and not only drunk, but extremely naked on the floor. And I was like, well, this is pretty awkward. That's not what I really was hoping to do with my day, is sit in the corner because I feel awkward, I'm in LA and I'm like, okay, I have to do something with my time. I have to be creative. How can I use this time properly? Now, this guy has some weird stuff in his apartment. He's got bronzed bugs and gold-plated chicken feet and the weirdest inspirational little pieces of things, trinkets, I don't even know. And and I look over and I'm like, okay. I'm like, here we go. There's 4 carts of books, right? And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I could maybe read something. So I'm looking in this one book and I'm like, yeah, no, that's not really my thing to read either. You're like, wow, she's really smart. So what we ended up doing, I had this song idea in my head that my dad actually had written a riff for. I had it in my email. I pulled it up, so I was listening to it, and I was like, okay. I'm like, I can write something to this. And I looked over at the books, and I ended up writing this song out of book titles and book titles alone. There was a death in paradise, some trouble in love. I'm on the stairway to hell, but I can't seem to get enough. And you're a cold-blooded lover. You've got a radical eye. This is the funeral party for you and I. I'm taking a shot in the dark here in this unseen world. You say I got no future, yeah, but I'm not that type of girl. And you're a cold-blooded lover. You've got a radical eye, yeah. This is the funeral party for you and I. My dreams are on fire, and I've become skin and bone. I'll make sure I wear this black leather, yeah, here on our and you've got a radical eye. This is a funeral party for you and I. You're a cold-blooded lover, and you've got a radical eye. This is a funeral party for you and I. You're a cold-blooded lover, and you still got your radical eye. This is the funeral party for you and I. Thank you so much. Chris Charcos, everyone. So one thing I wanted to just touch on before I leave you to your refreshments is the first record that we did, the one we just, 2 songs that we just played from that record, Dirty Cheat, which is what that View cover is from, and, all the press and stuff we've gotten until this point. And might I also add that we won 5 Hamilton Music Awards last weekend. Dirty Cheat took us a year and a half to create. We just went to England and wrote and recorded a whole record in 2.5 weeks. So really, there's different ways of doing things, and it's all about finding the way that you want to do them, the way that works for you. And I think, as long as you keep doing that, it doesn't matter. You can end up at the same goal or that extra goal the same way in a different time span or a different, there's a million ways to do things, and you just have to find yours. Thank you so much.